Across the board back with Simple Plan and name and what you do in the band.
What's up? I'm Jeff from the band Simple Plan. I'm the guitar player.
Talk to us first thing. New album just came out. Get Your Heart On. Came out in June. What can fans expect from the new album?
You know what? It's a record that's just a fun record. We kind of wanted to, obviously, grow as songwriters. We wrote 70 songs for this record, picked 11. Yeah, we worked really hard on it, and we wanted to throw back to the spirit and the energy of the first two records, so fun, uplifting, energetic, but at the same time, just hopefully grow as musicians and grow as songwriters. So, it's a very diverse record, but definitely when you listen to it, it gives you, I think, a big smile. So that's the idea.
70 songs. You guys are like Tupac, writing songs, for years. So are some of those songs going to be released later, or, just constantly writing and some never get released, or how does that work?
Hopefully they'll be released as B-sides or stuff like that. We never know. Every time we write a record, we have songs that we put aside, hopefully for the next record, and we never end up using them. So I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? You kind of plan these things out and then it changes. So I'd rather just we'll see at the next record.
You guys have had a lot of collaborations. Kanan, on the latest album, so many. What is that like? Playing with other people, bringing that creative force together. I mean, I'm sure you can't pick a favorite, because there's so many good ones. But and are there more planned for the future? Anybody you haven't worked with that you want to?
You know what? It kind of started out with Joel from Good Charlotte. Then we had Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 on the first record. Mark was, so generous, being in the video, just talking about the band a lot. And it was before Twitter, but he was just doing a lot of interviews, very, very generous. So, and it gave us kind of a feel for it. We wanted to repeat that, but you kind of. You're making a record, you're rushed making the record, you have to get out there on tour. This time around, we actually took time to really, finish the record. We took 6 months in the studio. So that kind of allowed us to contact all these people we wanted to work with, get the contracts together and all that stuff. So it's a lot more work than people imagine. But, obviously getting Rivers from Weezer was just, a great thing. We love everybody, that's collaborated on the record, but that guy's one of our, I don't know, an idol, but a big inspiration. We used to listen, to the Weezer records when we were younger and still do. So it's a great honor, and everybody's, did such a great job on this record.
So when you're not on stage, obviously when you are on stage, a lot of high intensity, great performances. What do you do when you're not on stage to relax?
You know what? I'm kind of a chill guy when I'm off stage. You give a lot of energy on stage, as you said, and after that, I just hang out. I just do what everybody does. Hang out with friends. I like starting businesses, doing things, on the side. I own a bar. I do a lot of different, things on the side. But it's definitely, I don't know. I like to watch movies, walks on the beach, and that kind of stuff.
Favorite drink then at the bar to make or to slug down?
You know what? I make a mean mojito, actually. Yeah. Pretty mean. I think I make the best one out there.
Yeah. And where is that? Is that back in Canada?
Yeah, it's called Filemon. It's a bar in Old Montreal at home. Yeah.
Nice. We also do a lot of mixed martial arts stuff. Are you a big GSP fan?
It's funny because everybody asks us, you guys know that guy because you're from Montreal. Recently, I had dinner in a restaurant, and he was sitting right next to me, and we were both sending each other shots. It was pretty cool. But he's a really nice guy. I wouldn't with him, but he was awesome. It's funny actually. I saw him he went by the same place where I went out, and every those meatheads were trying to push him around and just confront him for some reason. I'm like, really? I thought that guy it was a known thing that guy's the most dangerous man alive, and you're trying to get in trouble with it. You guys are stupid.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand that either. He's by far, to me, the most dangerous fighter pound for pound. On stage, like I said, we didn't talk about the high energy. Is there anything special we can expect? Anything for this show alone, or is it just is it still going to be your standard high performance energy?
Well, for Warped Tour, it's half an hour, so you really have to condense, as many songs as possible into that half hour. So it's really fast pace, not a lot of talking. Old songs mixed with a couple new songs, so it's kind of a best of everything that we've done, and we just accelerate the songs to make it fit within half an hour a little bit, yeah.
Legacy of the band, when all is said and done, what would make you think you're successful as a musician or, as a person? Is it the owning the bar? Is it, being on Warped Tour? What defines success for you?
Well, I mean, my band is definitely my little baby, you know, and it is for everybody, every single band member. But I think our legacy is that we stayed together for 10 years. It's actually been 12 years. And, you know, no personnel change. We get along really well. We still put out records, and people still care. You know, I think that's our legacy. It's doing it for so long. Now you hear bands, you know, disbanding after 2 years. You know, you see the singer, and then there's, you know, whoever in the background. It's like we've been the same guys. We're friends still, and I think that's, you know, that's success right there. You know, at the end of the day, you start thinking about all these, you know, these things, and it's like the basic values kind of remain. It's like friendship. You know, you want to be around the people you love, and you want to do what you love in life, and I think that's what we've achieved.
Yeah, and that's actually my next question. I was going to say, you know, you've gone through minimal lineup changes, which a lot of bands don't get to do that. Is that part of just being able to work with these guys that you're so close to? Is there a brotherhood that started before the band, or did that form as the band progressed?
Well, you know what? We've been friends forever, you know, high school friends. Chuck and Pierre, I've known those guys for 20 years. So basically we played in little bands. I learned how to play with them. Chuck, you know, I remember like him passing me CDs, you know, from all these crazy, you know, California punk rock bands. And that was Chuck, you know, he was like the music journalist, so he had access to all these amazing bands, and he would pass on CDs, you know, check out this band, check out Unwritten Law, that's funny, you know, who were on this tour. So yeah, we're friends, and that's, you know, that's what creates that strong bond. And Sebastian was my best friend's, well, he's my best friend's brother, was. So that's the tie we had. And David came in a bit later, but you still have to understand it's been 12 years. So even if David's you know, a later addition to the lineup, we've still known him forever. So I don't know. I think it's about integrity. It's about honesty, and when you got the real thing, unlike some bands that just, you know, follow like you know, a newspaper ad and meet up through that. We just, you know, we're friends. That's all. We're not necessarily the best musicians in the world, but that bond cannot be, you know, artificially put together.
What are you listening to right now? What's on your iPod or Walkman? Kick it old school. Dude, I just say old school style. I just felt like just, you know.
You know, it's funny because I just you know, Walkman. That's awesome. I just bought a bunch of CDs recently. I was in New York.
What's a CD?
What's the CD? What's that? You know, I got Mayday Parade, I got Go Radio, I got Every Avenue.
Mayday Parade's a great band. Good call.
Dude, I can't remember which record it is. There's one of them records that's just amazing. And, yeah, I think it's the latest one. Really, really great. I got the Drugs CD, too. That's a really, really good CD. And that's it. Oh, you know what? I got the Phil Collins cover record. All those covers. It's awesome. It's a really great record.
Favorite Phil Collins song, then? I'm going to go Easy Lover.
Yeah, Easy Lover is good. That's a good one.
You have maybe... Go ahead. You're good. You have maybe 5 to 10 minutes left to live in your life. You know, it's wrapping up. What's the last song that you want to hear or perform? Yours or anybody else's?
I guess perform. You know, I love U2, dude. I'm a sucker for U2. I think they wrote like amazing songs. Probably One. Okay. It's such a it's like the modern day Imagine, I think. You know, so it's a really, really great track.
I like it. And how can the fans, everybody's listening around the world right now, how can they keep up in touch with you guys, and what do you have planned?
You know what? We're going to be touring the world like starting with Asia. We're doing Europe right after this Warped Tour. We're doing Australia. We're going to be back in the U.S., Canada. We're going to be all around. So our fans could just, you know, check out our website for dates, simpleplan.com, and write us on our Twitters. Mine is at Jeff Stinko, very easy to find. And, you know, we actually answer our Twitters. We talk with our fans, interact. So it's a great way, you know, to keep in touch with us.